not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, y'all? It is Tasha. I am back with another video. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Take a seat, grab a snack, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about Married at First Sight. Go ahead and also hit that subscribe button below if you are not already subscribed to the channel. If you are already subscriber, or you are not new to my videos, welcome on back. Y'all know how we get into it on these Wednesday nights / Thursday mornings with Married at First Sight. So we are back with another review. Season 15, episode 5. You guys can see I am out of town again, so please just excuse if the lighting or sound is off. My apologies, but I'm just trying to make it do what it do with what I got. Okay? All right. So the couples are in Mexico and it is day 3 of marriage. We see everyone waking up. Sasha lets us know that the shower they took, last week that we saw, gave her a little preview of what her husband is capable of, but they did not go all the way because, again, she does not want to have meaningless sex and she wants to, build upon the temptation that they already have with one another. So I don't know what that means of she got a little sneak peek of what her husband is capable of. I guess maybe she saw the eggplant, felt the eggplant. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. So Lindy and Miguel are waking up and she's making fun of his snoring. Miguel tells us that the sexual tension is there and he could very much so fall in love with her. She tells him basically how she was raised as a 7-day Adventist and that she was engaged in college and they actually moved in together. And then as they started talking about their future, they kind of realized at that point their goals were a little bit different. So then they split ways. And she says that that was the last person she ever loved. And that was also the person that took her virginity. And that was about 6 years ago. So I don't know if Lindy is saying that's the one and only time she's had sex, or since then she just kind of been out here. I don't know, but I would like to know. They both say that they are afraid of basically not getting the same feelings back from one another, but she thinks love is a choice. Miguel thinks love is a feeling, and I feel that it can be both. Like, I think at first love is very much so a feeling that you have with someone, but after you felt that, you definitely make the choice to continue to love them every day for the rest of your life. So it can be a little bit of both. Y'all just gotta, figure out what's more important, I guess, in the beginning. Definitely don't choose to love anybody when you really don't. Like, that's crazy. So Stasha and Nate, they go on a little 4-wheel excursion with his little tight gray sweatpants on. And y'all, the sweatpants was not giving what it's supposed to have gave. So I don't know, Stasha girl. So she struggles to get her goggles and her helmet on while she's in the midst of trying to get this on and get help. He is over there on the side taking selfies of himself, of course. So they show her she looks like she's gone about 10 miles per hour. He really wants to go fast, so he's yelling from the back for her to speed up. And then he has to stop for pics and videos to get the views for social media. This man is so lame. So lame. She tells him that it basically has to be a balance between, being in the moment and recording for the gram. She says she feels like that he was doing his own thing and really trying to find the balance between, kind of doing his own thing and then being married. They'll have to figure that out. And I was like, Stasha girl, I get it. But 2 things. You have a man-child that you married and it's only been 3 days. He's not going to know how to be a husband or be married quite yet, honey. Okay? So give it time. So Justin and Alexis are getting ready to ride horses on the beach, and he's talking about smacking her ass. It would not be a Justin and Alexis scene without something sexual going on. So Justin is still in awe that he's just on the beach riding horses with his wife. He's like, I've always envisioned this, and I can't believe it's happening. And oh my God, this is just amazing. I can't even believe this is my life. Child, this man is already sprung and they just cannot stop kissing each other. Every chance they get, it is kissy time, okay? She says it usually takes her a while to fall for someone, but she feels like with Justin, she's losing control, and she can tell Justin loves her by the way he looks at her, although at this point he had not said it yet. So they are definitely, for sure, playing the role of husband and wife 1,000%. But again, just like I just said with Stasha and Nate, it's only been about 72 hours. Give it time, guys. Give it time. I feel like with Married at First Sight, it's either somebody going from 0 to 100 or somebody goes from 0 to -8. It's like, where is the in between of just having a good time, but we don't have to act like we've been married for 5 years, but we also don't have to act like I just picked you up on the corner and we decided to get married, folks. Like, find a middle ground, okay? So Kristen and Mitch, they're about to go paddleboarding, and y'all know this is completely in Mitch's element. Like, I can't even believe he's not even trying to pick up trash on the beach at this point, because I know he is loving this. So while he complained about her being in her wedding dress, he's excited to see her in a bathing suit for the first time. And she says it was nice, you know, for them just to be, you know, a little bit goofy and have fun. And as she says that, I just can't help but to think how goofy Mitch actually looked in this hat. So as she was saying goofy, I was like, he actually looks like Goofy in this very moment. And I had to take a picture. So I'm going to insert it right on over here so that, you know, if y'all forgot or you didn't watch, you can get the visual of it all. Okay. So she tells him that she appreciates how passionate he is about his career. And that's really what she wanted when she filled out her 500 question questionnaire for Married at First Sight. They both say they share the same sense of humor. And Mitch says that even sex is funny. And I was like, say what, Mitch? Nobody wants to hear you laughing and cracking jokes during sex. I'm sorry, but no thank you. Kristen says they are moving slower than she would like to. And I was like, well, Kristen, girl, are you used to just busting it open on the first date? I mean, no judgment if that's your thing. But girl, it's been 3 days. So back in San Diego, we see that Ben and Morgan's wedding are done. They're now taking pictures, and she says the nerves have finally worn off a bit, and they're starting to build a connection in all of 30 minutes. But I guess. So back in Mexico, Lindy and Miguel are having a cute little private dinner date. They talk about when they graduated high school, and he tells her that, of course, he graduated in 2003 and she graduated in 2011. And it was like, yikes. I guess we really didn't realize how far apart in age we are. Yeah, okay. So he tells her about his upbringing and, you know, how he grew up in Queens, New York until his parents divorced, and then he moved to Puerto Rico with his dad. He says once they moved to Puerto Rico, he kind of began to retreat a little bit because while he looked the part of a Puerto Rican, he did not speak Spanish. So he kind of just retreated back into spending a lot of time with himself. He also tells Lindy that his mom has schizophrenia, and it hurt him because he felt like that he treated her badly many of the years, because he basically kind of took him being with his dad and his mom not being there as a sense of abandonment. But as he got older, he realized it was basically because of the condition that she has it. So he kind of felt a little bit of guilt with that. I'm so sorry if y'all can hear dogs. I am not at home because I'm doggy sitting. And they just decided they wanted to play at 10:22 p.m. in the night. Like, I don't know why. So please excuse me if you can hear it. So Lindy then tells Miguel that her parents got divorced when she was in the 8th grade, and it was really messy. And she actually ended up staying with her boyfriend and his parents during the summer. And I was like, say what? Are we talking about in the 8th grade? Or are we talking about another summer when you were a bit older that you stayed? I mean, either way, my house ain't getting down like that. There's no way I could go live with a boyfriend during the summer and his, what? You better go find your auntie and cousin them or somebody to stay with, child. But anyway, she wants to break the cycle with her own marriage, and he basically wants the same thing. They both say they feel closer to each other as they share more things about themselves. Lindy shares that she's starting to fall for him, and she's willing to meet him where he is because he's shown some vulnerability to her, so her walls are starting to come down. She's like, it's just kind of like a little shrub at this point that you can just kind of hop over. Like, the walls aren't there. I was like, okay, girl, you might want to leave the shrub there a little bit longer until you know for sure what's popping, okay? So we then see Mitch on the phone with his brother, and he tells him that he is putting so much pressure on himself, but he is not feeling the physical spark. And all I can think is, here we go again. We already went through this with the Chris and Paige of it all, okay? He said that he made a vow to not lie to her, so he needs to be true to himself. And again, I'm like, Mitch, everything doesn't need to be said. Like, you, just because you made a vow to be truthful and honest does not mean in this very moment you need to tell this girl that you are not attracted to her. Like, just wait. Like, just hold on a beat. His brother tells him he can still make the best effort to get to know her. And he was like, you know, she's cute. And I don't think we need to make the full blown, you know, conclusion that you will not grow feelings for her. But his brother tells him that basically he may have to have a chat with her. Mitch gets a bit emotional and starts to actually cry. He says that he's just putting this pressure on himself and she really has not done anything, but hopefully he can get his act together because they have dinner soon. And he's here crying his eyes out after he's gotten off the phone with his brother. Get it together, Mitch okay? Get it together. So Stasha and Nate are getting ready for dinner. He's complaining about how long it takes for her to get ready. And she's like, you know, it usually takes about 2 hours. And I was like, 2 hours? I mean, I know I'm not a complete girly girl and I don't do the full face of makeup and all that stuff. And my hair is basically already fixed almost all the time. But geez, 2 hours? Girl, it's a long time. So now it's time for actually for Mitch and Kristen to have their date. So she comes marching down the walkway like she ain't never worn heels before in her life. I was like, Kristen, girl, you got on this little sexy little black dress. I need you to find a little sexy walk to go with it, okay? And not come clocking down the Broadway like you don't know how to walk in these shoes. And do something else with this hair, honey. My gosh. So they cheers. They talk about the day, and you can clearly see something is wrong with Mitch. She says that she isn't sexually frustrated, but she wouldn't mind advancing a little bit more. And he tells her that he wished he felt the same, but he's just not there right now. And at this moment, I was like, well, at least he did not pull a Chris where, you know, he just went ahead and still kind of led Paige on, although he kept telling the camera he wasn't feeling her. He wasn't telling her that. So I was like, okay, Chris. Not Chris. Okay, Mitch, I can dig it because you're not faking the funk. Like I don't want you to be rude to her, but I also don't want you to lead her on and just be completely honest. So at that point, I was cool. My mood changes towards the end of the video. He tells her that it's not her, he's the issue, and she says she doesn't understand it because she can tell that he finds her attractive, and he says attraction is the whole thing for him, so mind and body. She says she is not going to convince him or any man that she is attractive and she is a catch because she knows that she is. And I was like, well, okay then, Kristen, ma'am. Okay. And he's like, you should never have to. And then I'm not going to go running or anything. And it doesn't mean I won't ever grow attraction for you. Kristen, while I understand, you know, you saying that you can tell he finds you attractive, I don't want to discount your feelings, but I also want you to hear what this man is saying. He's telling you he ain't feeling you like that. So set the realistic expectation of where you guys are of he ain't feeling you like that. Don't act like, oh, I know he likes me. He's just saying that. When this man is saying he's not attracted to you like that. Believe the words, honey. Believe the words, okay? She says if she pokes and prods him now, she thinks it may end up hurting her feelings. So she just wants to take it day by day and see where it goes. She says his actions show that he is into her. And again, I don't know what I have missed, but I don't see how Mitch has shown he is into her because I have not seen it at all since they have been together thus far. Like he's been bitching and moaning since the freaking wedding. Like I don't know what she's seeing. But she says this is the worst case scenario for him to not be attracted to her, but she tries to spin it and basically spare her feelings and says, you know, oh, this would be, you know, so much worse if we didn't have great conversation and we didn't have so much fun together. I'm like, Kristen, I see what you're doing here. Like you are clearly hurt, but you're trying to spin it in such a way that, no, I totally get it. This is totally okay. I'm totally fine with it when you're not. Just stop, okay? So back over to Justin and Alexis. They are at dinner, all dressed in red, matching like a real married couple out here in these streets. She says she is afraid to be vulnerable because that means someone else can control your emotions, and she wants to be in control of them. And I 100% understand what she is saying. But I've also gone to therapy, and when you open up your heart for love, and you can open up your heart for hurt as well. You can't control which happens. So girl, you got to figure it out, okay? She tells him that she needs him And she was, you know, acting like she was getting ready to vomit as she was saying that because she didn't like feeling those feelings. And again, slow down. We don't need to be saying these things this soon, guys. We have time. We have time. But again, she says it almost hurts her to say these nice things. And it's not like her. But because Justin is so emotional, it's kind of starting to rub off on her. And he is, of course, loving every bit of her spilling her heart out to him. He tells her that he knows he wants to spend the rest of his life with her. He wants to have kids with her, and he is in love with her. I said, Lord, are these the fastest moving couples that we've seen? I mean, usually it's a couple or two. But at this point, everybody's acting like they just completely love their spouse. It's been 3 days, 72 hours, which is essentially going to work on Friday and coming back to work on Monday. Y'all need to chill. She then starts to nervous laugh after he says that and says he really makes her feel comfortable and that she makes him feel comfortable, and he said that he knew it ever since they were at the altar getting married. She says she's scared because, you know, this is really unfamiliar and she really shouldn't be afraid because this is actually a good thing, but, you know, she kind of want to walk away. He asks if she can see herself falling in love with him one day, and she asks him basically, if you want me to tell me that you love me, I can't do that right now, and that is too much. And that is completely understandable, Alexis. Like, don't feel bad about that at all. So she tells him that. He starts to cry as if he expected her to say it back. And again, I'm like, Justin, let's have realistic expectations, sir. Like, just because you fell in love in 3 days, that's not necessarily the norm. And I don't think you should expect her to reciprocate those words to you in 3 days. Like, stop it. But he says that she's just made him feel comfortable and she is everything he's ever wanted. And I just can't help but to think Justin is coming in hot, honey, all the way hot. And I hope this does not burn him later on in the season. She asks him if she feels like she loves him, and he says yes. And I'm sure that's because that's what he hopes for. So she's like, well, if you already feel it, it don't matter if I ever say it. Girl, yes, it does matter if you ever say it. You already know that. You're just trying to get out of the situation right now, being a little bit awkward of him saying it and you not saying it back. Okay. So back in the States, Morgan and Ben are enjoying their reception. She has to point out the friend that she kicked and chipped her tooth, you know, just in case you want to have a little chat with her. And all I can think of is you better not mess with Ben's pretty teeth. Now, Ben I think he's a little cutie, but those teeth, honey, I have a thing for teeth, and Ben have beautiful teeth, okay? So Morgan goes to talk to Ben's parents and sisters, and his mom says they were nervous and he loves his mama. Morgan's family is asking Ben straight out the gate how many children he wants, and ironically, Ben's parents is over there asking Morgan the same doggone thing. Like, these parents want some grandkids ASAP, okay? Morgan says she wants to do a lot before she has children and says that they will talk about it. And then on the other side, Ben is talking to her friends and they're telling him that she says she isn't sure if she wanted to have children. But then I think they kind of saw how he was feeling about it. And then they said, oh, but she also said, you know, if she found the right person, she would have kids. And I'm like, maths, y'all better not be coming to us with the bull of pairing up somebody that y'all know want kids with somebody that don't know if they want kids. Now, come on. Oh, gosh. So back in Mexico, we see Stasha and Nate are having dinner. She says she had a talk with her mom, and she asked about her mom, basically how she felt about him. And mom says that she thinks that they are perfect for each other. And I was like, say what, mama? From that short meeting? Okay. But of course, mama also shared the tea of he said that he went bankrupt with one of these companies he had. So you need to make sure you know about that, okay? So she asks him what happened. He tells her the story of the business falling through with his partner and says basically within 6 months, everything went back to normal, including his credit score, because y'all know my girl Stasha, she don't play around with her finances, okay? And she was like, this is a bit of a yellow flag because I don't want to struggle and I don't want to introduce unnecessary stress basically into the relationship. And I was like, girl, you better keep your good eye on that right there, okay? Because don't bankruptcy stay on your credit report for like 7 years, I think. Girl, you better make sure y'all will be good. So she uses this as an opportunity to tell him that she thinks a postnup is important to protect her assets. And of course, this man-child does not even know what a postnup is at this point. And then once she tells him, you know, like a prenup before, but since we're already married, it's a postnup. And he's like, you don't got no faith in your boy? No, she doesn't. And we don't either, because we don't know you like that. And you are already telling us you had to file for bankruptcy. Like, can you blame her? Whatever. But anyway, he tells her if she wants to, then that's fair. But you can also tell that he is hurt. Y'all, these darn dogs are worse than kids. Okay. Anyway, back to where I was. You can tell that he seemed to be a little bit hurt because she asked for the postnup. And I kind of get the feeling that if they had, you know, dated and courted and got engaged a traditional way, I feel like he would have probably fought her on signing the prenup. That's just the vibes I'm kind of getting from him. But she asks him about kids, and then he throws the question back to her and says, you know, since you're older, you know, what are your thoughts or whatever? And she's like, I was thinking, you know, by next year. And he kind of chuckled and was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah, I'm serious. And he says he was thinking within the next 2 to 3 years, but it has to be with the right person. And she looks at him like, what you mean we marry? And I was like, Lord, Humpty Dumpty, the walls are already crumbling down with these two. Okay, I knew it was coming, but it's coming a little bit quicker than I thought it was going to be. So Morgan and Ben, we see them cutting their cake at their reception, feeding each other. Their wedding is finally over. Now let's ship these bad boys off to Mexico, okay? So then we see that Morgan and Ben are, I don't know if this is an Airbnb. I don't know if this is a hotel. I don't know what this is, but they got them walking in the dark. Like, y'all don't have a ring light. What is happening, Maps? Like, this looks sketchy as hell. But anyway, they get inside. He tells her that his parents have been together since 1975. They met at a refugee camp in New Orleans, and he really hopes that, you know, him and Morgan can really have that long-lasting marriage like his parents. They change and get ready for bed, and they notice, of course, the entire bowl of condoms that Mavs has left for them. And Ben is like, you know, his birthday is at midnight, so just in case his wife is open to giving him something for his birthday, he is not going to turn down the gifts. And again, go take a shower. Go take a shower. That's all. That's it. Back in Mexico with Kristen and Mitch, they are in the pool ready to take some shots of tequila. They toast to having the tough conversations. And I feel like, again, at this point, Kristen is just trying to get this stuff out as to protect her feelings a bit. Like, let me just say it and kind of beat him to the punch of maybe him saying it again, or the conversation getting even more awkward so that she can make herself a little bit more comfortable is kind of what I was getting. But she says the mood is weird and she is frustrated and confused. And again, I'm not sure why she's so confused, because what we've seen on the TV thus far, he has not really showed interest in her. So I don't know if he is completely kind of love bombing her off camera, and then we get on camera and he's being this cold man that's not interested in her. I don't know, but it's a little bit confusing based on what she's saying and what we are actually seeing. And then she's, I feel like, being almost a bit passive aggressive as well, because she's like talking about it. You can tell she's heard about it, but then she starts thanking him for actually sharing how he feels and talking to her about it. And I was just like, yeah, I feel like that was a bit of a dig. Maybe it was just me. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, okay? But he says things are going well and he feels re-motivated, whatever that means. Morgan and Ben are waking up to their first morning together, and he basically says she practiced her Muay Thai in the bed, so I don't know if she was kicking him all around or what, but she surprises him with cupcakes and candles for his 30th birthday. And then she whispers and tells the cameras in her confessional that, you know, he looked cute. He took his shirt off. He got muscles and stuff. But they shared that they did not get it popping because they were both tired. But Ben is like, she kind of wants your boy, but I think they were just playing around with it. So they finally get their honeymoon basket. They learn that they are also headed to Mexico. And then they pack, and Ben makes sure he does not leave the condoms, okay? It is now day 4 of marriage. All the couples are waking up, and Nate tells Stasha that, you know, yesterday we looked like a thing. And I was like, girl, this man, the more he opens his mouth, the more it would turn me off, honey. Like, You only want a wife for the optics of IG, sir. Like, let's be real here. So Lindy and Miguel, they go swimming and they kissing, and Miguel tells her that he is attracted to her and the sexual attention is there, but they have not consummated their marriage, but they're working on it. Okay. And then he tells us that there are other ways his needs are being met. And I said, excuse me, Miguel, what are you trying to say exactly? Are you trying to say hypothetically there's other ways your needs can be met? Or are you saying it has happened and there are other ways that your needs are being met, as in past tense? Let us know, because we nosy. If you're going to tell us, tell it all. So he then, of course, because y'all know he isn't all religious as she is, but he asks her if God is going to be looking at them when they have sex and going to rate him. Child, I cannot with Miguel. I cannot with Miguel. She says she has a bit of an identity crisis because for years, you know, with her religion, it's of course preached, you know, not to have sex before marriage. So she really appreciates him being patient with her, and it means a lot. And they basically also have two different views of not only love, but two different views of sex. Miguel says it's just an expression of attraction before one another. And Lindy definitely takes it very, very much so much deeper. And it's like a whole, literally the two become one for her. And that's how important it is. So good luck, guys, on figuring that out. He then offers her a massage, and we all know what happens when a man offers you a massage. He is definitely trying to tempt her. And, you know, she says she wants to wait, but also, girl, you sending this man a little bit of mixed signals, because you grown enough to know what goes down when a man asks you if you want a massage. You start untying your bikini top and all this stuff. Like, if you don't want to do the do, I'm going to need you to keep your little bathing suit cover on, okay? So Ben and Morgan are finally in Mexico. They meet up with the rest of the couples and they're going on a little boat ride. So y'all know they're about to spill the tea on what's been happening. They didn't see two whales. Lindy's about to cry from seeing the whales for whatever reason. Justin tells Ben and Morgan that things have been perfect between him and Alexis. And of course, because they missed it, Alexis have to announce to the rest of the class that Justin is celibate. Just in case y'all needed to know, y'all didn't know, y'all wasn't here. He is celibate. Everybody know now, okay? All the Mexico knows. So all the ladies then get together, and Stasha says, you know, that she is changing her last name, or she's already changed her last name. I don't know, because she says she has no association with her last name because she didn't know her dad. And she even says if it doesn't work out, she will still keep his last name. And I was like, what? What? She completely lost me on that one, but okay, girl, do you. Alexis then shares that she knew her dad, and then the minute she says it, she kind of pauses and she looks over at Stasha and she apologizes, and she was like, I didn't mean for it to come off that way. And while I know Alexis can completely have diarrhea of the mouth, I truly do think in this moment she did not mean any harm. She let it slip, and she almost caught herself immediately and knew that that could have sounded a little bit harsh to Stasha. So I do appreciate her taking the pause and actually apologizing. But what she really meant was that she knew her dad, but she still didn't really have a connection with her dad either. So she kind of understood and could relate to Stasha in that way. Justin tells the guys that he told Alexis that he loves her. Nate thinks that they're just excited, maybe just a little too excited. Alexis also tells the girls, and she said she immediately wanted to run, but you know, she will tell him whenever she is ready. The guys confirmed that, you know, Justin should share how he feels and should not hold back. And I was like, the last thing these two gonna do is hold back, okay? Miguel said that there's been some friction in the physical department, but you know, he does care about her. And Lindy says, you know, that they're obviously still getting to know each other. Nate shares that, you know, him and Stasha took a shower together, and he knows she wants it, and they'll probably get it in before the honeymoon is over, but she gets very excited. And then he smirks. And again, I cannot stand this man. Oh my gosh. Like, what do you mean? She gets very... Are you telling this woman business like that? I'm sure she probably did not want that shared with the class. So Morgan says Ben is all over her, child, and Ben says he can see himself falling in love with her, but you know, he talks about her bridesmaids saying that she may not want kids, and that may be a red flag, but they still have to talk about that. And then Mitch has the nerve to say that Ben and Morgan are off to a shaky start. Excuse me? Mr. Peg Leg, who can't find his balance and are the shakiest of them all? You had a nerve to talk about somebody else's marriage? So he tells the guys he wasn't really feeling her at first, but after some tequila shots, he started feeling her and cuddling and everything. And then I was like, so is he about to tell us that they actually ended up having sex? And then they flash over to Kristen talking to the girls, and she was like, I kind of really don't want to discuss it with the guys here. So I guess the guys were still pretty much in earshot distance, but she lets them know. But tomorrow I will give y'all all of the nitty gritty, okay? And of course, all the ladies, especially Stasha, is like, I knew something was going on and I'm here for the tea of it all, okay? So then we see Alexis and Justin talk about the talk after the boat ride, and she says that something was up with Kristen and Mitch, but you know, they're all just kind of being supportive and rallying around them. We then see Kristen and Mitch getting a little couples massage, and Kristen is ready to chat once it's over. Mitch said he wasn't planning on getting so hot and heavy the previous night before, so at this point I guess he's now blaming it on the alcohol, the tequila of it all. She tells him that, you know, it meant a lot for him to make the first move when they got back to the room, but she feels that if the attraction was there from the beginning, then last night could have been their moment. And Mitch says that, you know, as a guy, I have desires and hormones, and, you know, I'm just trying to show that I care. And then he kind of just laughs it off, and I'm like, no, you just wanted to get your rocks off is what you wanted to do. Quit acting like, oh, I'm trying to just show her that I care. No. Your situation did what it was supposed to do, and you wanted her to take care of you without getting too graphic into details. That is what you wanted, Mitch. Let's be clear here. You always talking about you got to be straightforward. You got to be honest. You got to tell it like it is. Well, tell it like it is and stop fronting, okay? Because I was very much so not on your side at this very moment, okay? She tells him that basically she needs words of affirmation to feel wanted and sexy, and she just wants to make sure that they keep moving things in a positive route. And the only pressure she is applying is that if they don't have sex, or if he don't say I love you by decision day, she is going to say no. She has already made it clear she will say no on decision day. So, child, she has completely drawn a line in the sand. We will see how this goes over the next several weeks with these two. But yeah, that was the end of the episode, y'all. So please let me know your thoughts on the episode tonight. It was a lot to get in. Like, they are really digging into the drama. We are only on day 3 and 4, and they are just already getting it on and popping. Okay, so chat it up in the comments below. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode, and I will catch y'all in the next. Oh, before I leave, I'm going to be out of town again next week. I'm actually going to be out of the country on vacation. So I probably won't do the review next week. I definitely won't do it the day that it comes out. I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to do it late when I get back into town, or if I'm just gonna, you know, watch next week, still have an idea of what goes on, and then catch up on the following week. So let me know if y'all prefer one over the other, but I know for sure it will not be on time next week if I do it at all. So peace until next time.